Alright guys, it's Sunday in the afternoon and I'm going to do this a little earlier than I normally do. I normally do this like around evening time, but today is my wedding anniversary, so we're going to get this done and out of the way and then I'm going to get out of here. So shadow stuff, right? We've been talking about this and I kind of like doing this series. Hopefully you guys get something out of it. It helps you examine some topics and things that maybe you wouldn't normally dive into or not in the way that we examine them here. So the subject that I had picked today, I wanted to do this one yesterday, but I kind of decided to put it off. But anyway, so today we're asking, how is our shadow self showing up in relationships right now? All right, so relationships, usually we think of romantic relationships. This could, however, be a close friendship, a partnership. Perhaps you have a business partner that you're very close to, or a very close family member. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship if you're single and you're not in one. However, it could be the reason why you don't have a relationship too. So if you think of it in the terms of perhaps self-sabotage, right? And so that's something that I'm going to talk a little bit about. One of the cards that I drew for this today is actually quite good. So first card, Seven of Pentacles, okay? Normally the sevens are fortuitous. It means success, something is going to go your way, things are coming that are very good. So from a shadow perspective though, if we kind of take a look here, okay, so there's a scarecrow, the woman, is kind of sleeping or resting on the pumpkin, and you see in the background the Seven Pentacles, right? From a shadow perspective, are you scaring away opportunities, right? So opportunities exist. Fortuitous things are out there. They could already be within your reach, right? They could be within your grasp. But are you doing things? Are your actions preventing you from bringing that person to you, or from that person, wanting to be in a relationship with you or date you? Or perhaps you're already in a relationship. Are your actions pushing away or scaring away your partner? Okay. This can also mean, are you checking out? Are you sleeping through something as an avoidance mechanism? Okay. So again, from a shadow perspective, instead of dealing with a problem, are you choosing to just take a nap and pretend like it's not there, right? It's perfectly fine to create some space to say, I need to back away from this and think about it, and then come back and confront it and deal with it. But if you're simply just checking out and sleeping through it as a way of avoiding dealing with the problem or the person, whatever it is, that is again how the shadow self could be showing up in your relationship right now and preventing you from either finding the right person or keeping the right person. It's completely possible you've already found that person, but perhaps you've pushed them away. Okay. So, and again, think about this too. What is your personal relationship to fear? When I say, are your actions scaring away opportunities, right? The reason why you do those things, whatever they are, right? What do you fear? And usually, and I'll answer this because I think that the human experience, certain elements of it are universal, right? Usually we do certain things we fear being hurt because we've been hurt before. We've all experienced some form of hurt, emotional, psychological, or physical, at the hands of another person, right? Maybe it is infidelity, maybe it is abuse, maybe it's control, maybe it's narcissism. There's so many things that this can manifest as in relationships. And so is that previous hurt and fear of it occurring again what causes you to act in such a way that you push away other people and you basically ruin the opportunities that are right there in front of you. Okay? And the answer to that is very complex, right? Most of us, it takes counseling and years of self-work, right? It's not something we can just snap our fingers and go, oh, I'm great now. So hiding and avoiding, right? You need to wake up from whatever the dream is that you've created there. And it's not a good dream usually. It's just your avoidance dream. Wake up from it and take some sort of action. And that's actually been kind of the theme throughout the course of the last week. Really all of the shadow reads that I've been doing, that the theme is you need to be taking action right now, not just in relationships, in our lives, in the world, in our countries, our government, our social systems. We should all be taking action. So specifically on the topic of relationships, take action. Now, the second card I drew to kind of clarify, okay, so this is how the shadow self is showing up in our relationships. What can we do to overcome that, or what is the solution to that? Okay, and so the second one I drew, this is from the Occult Tarot and the Demon Zephyr, right, which resonates most with the Lovers. Okay, so the Lovers is usually, again, kind of like the Seven of Pentacles in a general reading, is generally a fortuitous card, meaning that there is someone, a deep love or deep emotional connection that you have to another person that's present in your life, and this is generally seen as a good thing, it's a good omen. But when it lands somewhere like what can we do about the shadow self, and we're specifically talking about the shadow, the Lovers is more so going to imply that there needs to be some sort of sacrifice, ramifications of whatever choice we make are long lasting, so that choice shouldn't be made lightly. So, if your actions are pushing away other people or pushing away other opportunities that you would like to have, but you're just, whatever it is you're doing, your shadow self manifesting is causing those opportunities to be lost to you, or you not to be able to fully reach them. You're kind of at a crossroads right now, right? You have to decide, okay, I've got this fear, whatever this fear is from, I've been hurt or betrayed or rejected or whatever, right? Whatever you feel. The sacrifices you're going to have to make in order to remove that block from your shadow self, right? Your shadow self is standing in the way. Every time you want to get close to someone, it pops up and is like, yeah, but remember that one time that like everybody hurt us? This person's going to be that too. We don't know that, right? We don't know that until it happens. So we're reluctant to trust. We're reluctant to know that will this person actually be somebody that we can connect to, that we can trust. We have to decide. We have to make the conscious decision to sacrifice that some of that self-preservation, right? So that fear that we feel and that hesitance to connect and to let that person in and to be vulnerable, that fear is self-preservation. We're trying to prevent ourselves from being hurt again. But what we need to realize is that's the shadow self. Now, if you have good reason to believe that this other person is probably going to hurt you, first of all, don't engage. Like, don't be in that situation. But second of all, if you don't, because most of the time we don't know that about people unless there's tons of red flags and we choose to ignore them, which that shit happens too. We've all been there. But if this is someone new and you don't know much about them, what this card is telling us is at this crossroads, the choice that's going to yield positive outcomes for you is to have open communication, be vulnerable, raw honesty, okay? Excuse me. Opening yourself up and being honest with that person and saying, look, XYZ things have happened to me. This is what I've experienced, and this is what I'm working with right now. Take it or leave it, right? You don't want to sugarcoat it. You don't want to be like, I'm perfectly fine, because you're probably not. None of us are, really. None of us are perfectly fine. But being open and honest with another person, instead of scaring them away with like controlling behavior, game playing, manipulation, all of the things that we tend to manifest, the actions that we tend to manifest right? We don't want to bring them too close because then they can really hurt us. Those things have to go. Those are the behaviors and actions that push people away. That's what causes us to lose those opportunities, okay? So open, honest, and vulnerable. Those are the ways that you want to go about combating the way that that shadow self is going to show up, which is, are you scaring people away, right? So, quick shadow read. Like I said, today is my anniversary, so I got to get out of here. But thank you for sharing a few minutes of your Sunday with me, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend. Drink some coffee or whatever your libation of choice is. Hopefully it's beautiful wherever you're at. It's actually really hot where I'm at, but in the shade it's only slightly less hot. So have a good one.